Hi guys, back on to part two. I'll come up with some Yankees next. So the next one is this, I think it's a Celebration range Yankee candle. I've just actually got black all over my fingers from the inside of this, as you can see. It's got a fair old bit of sooting around the top. And this little beast definitely sooted up my wall. I had this downstairs to start with and it didn't throw very well, so it got kind of relegated upstairs into the bathroom, where it did actually perform better. It got stronger as actually the candle went on, to be honest. It is in the soft wax. It's one of the only few that I've got in soft wax. But yeah, self-extinguish, there's nothing left in there really, just a tiny bit of wax, but the sooting around the sides, as you can see, you can't really tell it's as bad. I mean, probably there where you can see my fingers just brushed against it. It was pretty dire, and it did soot all the way up the wall, but it was in the bathroom, so it did wipe off the tiles quite easily. But I'd have been very, very annoyed if that had happened on my painted walls, because it'd be much harder to get off. It's in the scent Lilac Blossoms, and it's 10 ounce. Yeah, I probably would. I mean, I picked this up for £5. I think it was £4.99. So not very much for the size of the candle, and scent was okay. I wasn't overly impressed with it. It was a powdery type scent. I wouldn't say it was anything like lilacs as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, if I saw that again for £5, I'd definitely give that a punt. It was just an okay type powdery scent. And to be fair to the candle, when they go upstairs, I'm not babysitting them like I would if they were in the sitting room. So the actual sooting there happened on kind of the last burn, and I wasn't actually watching it, so can't blame it too much. Okay, next up I'll go with the Angel Wings. This was a massive disappointment. As you can see, it sooted like crazy. The first time I actually lit this, I literally got the lighter, lit it, went back into the kitchen to put the lighter away, came in and there was smoke all trailing out of it, so it had to have a trim before it even really lit itself. It's not an overly old candle. It's 2015 pour there, so it's not a massively old candle, and it really smells nice on cold. It's a sponge sugar vanilla type scent, and as I spoke earlier on my part one, I did pair it with a tart simply because it was not throwing at all. I couldn't smell anything from this on the first 5 burns probably, and you can see there the sooting is pretty pretty bad. It probably doesn't look as bad as what it actually is in real life. This again was relegated upstairs because it wasn't performing. Where it performs, I'm going to have to make a confession here, it performs one of two tasks. Obviously it scents upstairs, or it should do if it's a scented candle, which this didn't do very well. And also my light in the bathroom is blown, and I am a total girl, and I cannot for the life of me change the bulb. It's like a fitted light fitting, if that makes sense, and I cannot get the screws out for the life of me. So until somebody comes and rescues me, at the minute I'm in a dark bathroom, so the candles kind of do 2 purposes up there. They scent upstairs and give me a little bit of light so I can see what I'm doing when I'm in the bathroom. It did self-extinguish, as you can see the metal there, and there is a good old amount of wax. There's probably ½ an inch of wax left, which will not be getting scooped out because it pretty much was unscented. Even in a small bathroom I could not smell this candle, so would not recommend Angel's Wings, which is a shame because it is one of the festive ones and I do like the festive candles, but wouldn't recommend this, and will definitely not be buying this one again. Okay, next up is Yankee Candle's Red Raspberry. Again, you can see it's got a fair amount of sooting on the top there, and that was the last couple of burns as well, where the sooting really kind of took over. It was a bit of a messy candle. It does look quite clean, but it wasn't. I think halfway down, just after halfway, it kind of got so hot, I think, that it just burnt everything off the sides, but there were wax rings all over this. It did self-extinguish. You can see there's a bit of a lip inside there, but it did actually self-extinguish itself. It is down to metal. The scent on this is not Red Raspberry as far as I'm concerned, far from it. They should have really called this candle Fruity Fizz or something. It's a fruit type scent, and it's kind of got a fizzy effervescent, I can't say that word, effervescent note to it. Not unpleasant, just not Red Raspberry, not what I was expecting. Again, this got relegated upstairs, and I do have another one of these actually burning at the moment upstairs, just to get through it really, because I'm not really hot on the scent, to be quite honest with you. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I don't think it's not a terrible scent by any stretch of the imagination. I just wouldn't recommend it if you want a red raspberry scent, because that's not what you're going to get in my opinion. I will definitely not be buying this again unless I can find like a jar for a couple of pounds. I'll not be wasting my money on this one. So that's red raspberry. Next up is Dreamy Summer Nights, and this one I wasn't sure at first on cold. But actually, I really do like the scent on this one. Now, this is another one that got relegated upstairs because downstairs it wasn't performing. There's a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of sooting on it. Nothing terrible. It's not like the other ones, nothing terrible. It did actually self-extinguish completely. I don't know if you can see there. It's a bit difficult to see because it's a dark wax, but there's no wick left. It's down to metal. But there is probably a good inch of wax left. I don't think I'll bother scooping it out. The throw on this wasn't brilliant. Downstairs, it went upstairs because it wasn't throwing. Upstairs, it performed a bit better. You could kind of smell it in the bathroom and a little bit on the landing, but nothing strong. So it was a bit of a disappointment because I was expecting a nice strong throw from that and I didn't get it. So I'd recommend it if you like a vanilla type scent. It is a vanilla-y scent. Nice on cold. Nice if you don't mind a light thrower. For me, I'd rather be able to smell my candle. If I'm paying sort of like £15 upwards for a candle, I want to be able to smell it, not just for it to be kind of there in the background. So I've not done very well with my Yankees this burn month, if I'm honest. So I will not be buying Dreamy Summer Nights again. May well buy it in tart form. Maybe it's better in tart form, but I wasn't overly impressed with that one. Although I do love the label. I think the label is super pretty. So I may well clean this jar out and use it for tea lights or something like that. So that's Dreamy Summer Nights. And then next up, I've just got one last one, and it's this beast. It's nothing really. I can see it's Essence range, so it's from B&M. I think I paid £1 for this, and it's massive. I mean, my hands can only they don't go all the way around it. It's a huge jar. As you can see, it's a complete royal mess. It was a mess on burning. You can see the wicks there. To be fair to the candle, I did drown one of the wicks at one point and have to try, and that's why I've got all this on here. Had to try and kind of dig it out to get it going again. But yeah, scent-wise, nothing really. But I really like the way this glowed for a bit of ambience in the sitting room in the winter. It was nice. So if I found this for £1 again, yeah, I'd definitely buy it, and I will be cleaning this out because it'd be a nice little plant pot. So I think that's everything. Let's have a look around me. Yes, that's everything, guys. That's all my empties for September and October. Hopefully it'll be not quite as long until I have another one, because I have kind of burnt quite a lot this month. But thank you very much for watching, and I appreciate any comments, and maybe you've had better luck with some of the Yankees, particularly the Christmas type scents. And I'll see you all soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.